many of us know kind of a little bit of that story. So feel free to kind of share with those that don't know a little bit of that story and how you got to LifeVantage.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for inviting me to join our amazing group panelists today. My goodness, Sherry, Debbie, and Rai obviously made a great kickoff already, and there's one more dynamic leader, Daisy, hopping in after me. So welcome, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you all. I hope to add value in your life today. So to answer your first question, Steve, I am originally from the Philippines, youngest of the 4 siblings. I lived a life of poverty. At age 25, I was summoned to take responsibility for my 2 parents and 2 grandparents when my 3 other siblings took off and got married. At age 33, I became a single mom only after being married for 3 years, blessed with my one and only son, Nico. He then became my biggest inspiration to break the chain of poverty in my family. So by the grace of God, I did. I became a successful corporate executive, and through hard work, I was blessed to own my own Asian telecommunications company, which gave me such a great lifestyle. It was 1998. Life was good. Recession came. I was invincible. But things changed when I decided to remarry and migrated with my son in the US in 2003. I married Greg and sold my company and left my entire life in Manila. Obviously, income stopped. But I was wise enough to invest funds for my son's college and continue to help my family in the Philippines, along with my Bridge of Hope ministry, helping orphans and the impoverished children. I later got bored as I was stay home in the U.S. for 5 years. So I became a business banker. But guess what? I was unhappy not getting paid my worth. Modesty aside, my productivity was equivalent to 3 bankers. So I made a decision not to stay in a cubicle scheme and work until I'm 65, right? I want to run my own show like I did before. So what I did was I continued my search and just kept an open mind. And then one afternoon, I got in front of ABC Investigative Report. I was wowed by it, but was turned off when I found out it's network marketing, because I've never done it before. And I've heard so many bad things about it. But as a business-minded person, I knew what breakthrough technology means. So Greg and I said, we must get a piece of this or miss out. Braving the unknown, I embraced network marketing full-time after working it part-time for 11 months. And then when I took the time to educate myself, I said, whoa, network marketing is a business platform everyone must learn to adapt. All I knew before was to trade time for money. Leverage income? Where have you been all my life? And LifeVantage is by far a perfect storm. With all its 6 key components, LifeVantage is considered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, this is our 10th year, and we have been so blessed. With zero knowledge in network marketing, you guys, I learned the skills. And with the efforts of the entire team, we accelerated to Pro 8 2 years ago. Gosh, our friends and families were astonished. So now, Greg and I wake up together, we travel together, we continue to bless others by teaching them how to dig the well before getting thirsty. Guys, network marketing business model is such a powerful platform if people only take the time to educate themselves fully and understand that decision has to be made, just like what we did. And once that decision is made, commitment 100%, just like Rai Price said, it is necessary to become successful. And quitting must not be an option. Follow the leaders, not the quitters.
Yeah, I love that. I love how it's just a decision that has to be made. So understanding that there's a decision that had to be made on your journey to elite status, I'm sure there's been barriers along the way. What were some of those challenges that you've had to kind of persevere through and make decisions through?
That's a great question, Steve. In this business, of course, all of us will face many obstacles along the way. And that's why many people quit, right? Life happens, you see. but realize we do face the same challenges in our traditional jobs and sometimes even worse, right? So my first challenge is when my sponsor, who was a Pro 4 at that time, quit when I was a Pro 3. So I would have followed him like most people do, right? I understand it's hard to be left alone and it could be lonely in the beginning when you are doing this alone until you develop a team of people, right? But someone has to lead and I want to lead. So I decided to reach out to a few leaders whom I wanted to follow and learn from. You know, I had to push myself to lead my team. So I needed that resources to do that. And again, decisions were made. I never missed events. And I brought people to these events. And that's why Greg and I witnessed the growth in our organization. And then second challenge, when LifeVantage unplugged their business in the Philippines and decided to focus on other markets. Guys, we lost massive volume in our organization. We disappointed many people. Enough reason to quit and follow the other elite leaders who have quit, right? I understood why they quit, but guys, when we are in the middle of a storm in the ocean, we must trust the captain of the ship. So for me, no matter how it hurts, I made the decision to stay because my belief and trust for LifeVantage is 100%. The new captain of the ship got on board during that time. I was confident he knew what he was doing, and he has proven to us up to now that he is in control. And my other elite friends who left, they hopped from one network marketing to another. I was glad I was bulletproof. Now, third obstacle. It was in December 2014, when Christmas was just around the corner. Greg was afflicted with stage 3 brain cancer. Sadly, there was no cure for anaplastic astrocytoma. It was one of the lowest and saddest moments in our life. Sadly, the company that Greg was working for 19 years laid him off after 6 months while he was still fighting for his life. So Greg hit rock bottom. We, of course, lost our health insurance, but by the grace of God, he was officially declared cancer-free after 6 months. And here's the other miracles. Number 1, LifeVantage allowed me to stay by Greg's side each day during his battle with cancer. Number 2, LifeVantage paid us each month, which kept us afloat and therefore paid our bills. But the big question is, what if? What if Greg continues his battle with cancer after 6 months and he couldn't go back to work and we didn't have the health insurance? It would have been a total nightmare. And I don't even want to think about it right now. So when Greg got well, he went back to work temporarily for another company. And while I worked full time and run with my LifeVantage business. And then I flew to various cities and countries alone by myself and to help and train our team. We achieved the elite rank that year. And I attended elite retreats alone by myself for the most part as Greg went to work. I spent long hours, days, weeks away from home, you guys. Long layovers were exhausting. You know, time difference between cities and countries were challenging. But I was focused on achieving the Pro 8 rank, hoping to bring Greg home. So, listen to this. It required so much perseverance, sacrifice, commitment, and hard work. But the results were so much worth it, you guys. I would not exchange this for anything else. And now I see Greg every day. I am with him every day. It is a priceless gift that we could share to others. You know, our efforts were definitely rewarded and allowed us to build our dreams and get paid our worth. And then we said, enough of working for someone else who only treated us as numbers and for a company we will never get to own and would get fired from, right? So in my opinion, Steve, LifeVantage is the way.
I like that. And I like how you touched on perseverance a little bit. You've had many challenges, as we've just heard, Where did you get kind of the motivation and the strength to kind of to continue as your final thought?
Well, simple. By finding a good and solid reason to fight for something. It is my why. You've got to have a big why. And I've got a big why. My why was non-negotiable. The same way I was fighting to break the chain of poverty in my family before, I had only one choice then, and that is to break through. To give my family a good lifestyle, I made the decision to change our lives. And so I did. Well, in our case right now, I didn't want Greg to continue to work for someone else who once jilted him. It was a horrible experience and it hurt so much. We were broken and I needed to bring him home. And I know that many people are faced with adversities, you guys. Many are wounded and are patching holes in our lives. Now that I have found a way to serve others, I want to inspire people who are invisible. Invisible are the poor people, the old, the sick, the orphans, and the underdog I was once before. I want to be the voice for the voiceless. Wouldn't you guys? It's a noble thing to do. So, for those of you who are here today, don't settle for less. Don't be just a spectator. Dare to walk the stage. Make a change. Be the change. It takes one to create a momentum, you guys. Let it begin with you. Again, it's an honor to be with you here today. God bless, and back to you, Steve.